see a lot of guys barking about training here. You need to train to maintain your accuracy and your skills with the rifle, pistol, or shotgun. Well, I don't have to train at all, because when I want to shoot something, I just sit back and the 155mm breaks out behind the rifle and puts a bullet on a dime at 100 yards. It doesn't matter if I haven't shot a rifle in 10 years. Had the 155mm you guys see on this channel not been with me all my life, I would be dead right now. This chemical sickness that I was exposed to in the Gulf would have killed me already.
Ram. Come on. Try to show what bag I see right in the rear closing. Right when the sparks line, prime. Look up, fire! Although Saturdays when kids go out playing, yo, I was up in my room, I let the stereo.
Glasses, this is 155mm bringing you another video. And today I'm going to talk about I'm going to put out another video here. As you guys know, I showed one of the medals I had pinned on inside the theater of combat. Nothing big, nothing special at all. But one thing with that medal, I will say here, it means a lot to me, because that medal was the day that the warfighter was born. It was the day that the warfighter came out. And the warfighter was born inside the theater of combat. And I know a lot of you guys think, well, this 155mm channel, this guy's just putting on, parody thing, which I am. A lot of this stuff is parody. A lot of it is. But when I get behind the rifle, when I get behind the shotgun, when I get behind the pistol, and the videos I'm putting out on Gulf War Syndrome, those aren't parody. Those are real. And the 155mm that you see here, who gets behind the rifle, the shotgun, the pistol, is the 155mm that was born inside the theater of combat. And the 155mm that you see here is what took over and got that medal pinned on my chest inside theater. That's right. And he's been with me ever since. That side, that inner self, that inner warfighter, sporadically over the years, whenever I can't overcome a challenge, he breaks out, takes over, and succeeds. The 155mm you see here on my channel is the reason why I rock a $10,000 Barrett on my dining room, my nice dining room table. The 155mm you see here on my channel, the warfighter that was born inside the theater of combat, is the reason why I rock a nice accurized AR-15. The 155mm that you see here on my channel the warfighter who showed up and got that medal pinned on my chest inside the theater of combat, he's the reason why I rock one of the best match grade 1911s, going for around $1,500 on the internet these days. This 155mm warfighter has been with me since the day he showed up out there in the theater of combat. Now, do I need to train on the rifle, the pistol, or the shotgun? Because I see a lot of guys barking about training here. You need to train to maintain your accuracy and your skills with the rifle, pistol, or shotgun. Well, I don't have to train at all, because when I want to shoot something, I just sit back and the 155mm breaks out behind the rifle and puts a bullet on a dime at 100 yards. It doesn't matter if I haven't shot a rifle in 10 years. The first shot, the 155mm warfighter who showed up and got that medal pinned on my chest out there in the theater of combat, he takes over, hits the dime. 200 yards. I just sit back. The 155mm warfighter takes over at 200 yards and puts my 223 bullet on a silver dollar at 200 yards. Something no one here has been able to do in 5 years on both the dime at 100 and the silver dollar at 200. Now, there has been guys here who have shot the dimes, and there's been guys who've done a real good job. I'm going to start shouting those guys out. Real guys who shot the dimes, not the role players, dudes. Not the role players. I'll show you who the role players are. There's one guy who's claiming he's the king of the dimes. He's a faker. No, he never shot the dimes. And the 3 birds in 1 second, you guys just saw them? I've been shot the shotgun in over 2 years. That was my first toss with these birds. The 155mm warfighter showed up, just like he showed up out there in the theater of combat. And within 1 second, less than 1 second, that warfighter took out 3 of these birds. And you saw it on camera here in less than 1 second. So no, once the warfighter shows up and the U.S. Army combat teams put you in for a medal in Washington, it comes down, they pin it on your chest in the combat zone, and in the citation below, once they recognize your warfighting, that's when you know that the 155mm warfighter showed up, and he'll be with you for the rest of your life. Respectable citizens carry firearms. Criminals carry weapons. And I don't expect a lot of people to know what I'm talking about in this video. A lot of people are going to think this is crazy. But those of us who know, and those of us who have had medals pinned on our chest, and the citation below makes mention of your warfighting, we know that that warfighter stays with us for the rest of our lives. And most of us, that's the reason why we're rocking $10,000 Barretts on our tables. Because I'm going to tell you right now, had the 155mm you guys see on this channel not been with me all my life, I would be dead right now. This chemical sickness that I was exposed to in the Gulf would have killed me already. But that warfighter that showed up in the theater of combat is what kept me alive to this day. And slowly, as I said, taking over more and more as I get weaker. So respectful citizens carry firearms, criminals carry weapons. Peace out.
Saturdays when kids go out and play, yo, I was up in my room, I let the stereo blaze. On Saturdays when kids go out and play, I was up in my room, I let the stereo play. It's all inside of me. It's all inside of me. It's all inside of me. It's all inside of my head. Overrated. Click, click, boom. I'm coming to everybody. Come on, come on.
People have forgotten that for 7.5 years, we found weapons of mass destruction.
About Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda. Wanted to ask, is there a direct link between Saddam Hussein and Al-Qaeda in your views?